Ryan, one of those MVP caliber players that we actually did have in Detroit, although we didn't obviously draft him and he wasn't here originally, but he spent by far the majority of his career rocking the Old English D. Tigers legend, Miguel Cabrera. And this man is not certain about his return to baseball after the end of this season. He's 39 years old. He has shown signs of decline at the plate. He's been dealing with knee issues, and these knee issues have been around for a while. He was diagnosed with a chronic right knee injury in 2019, and surgery was recommended, but he never had it, and he's kind of been managing it since, and it looks like it's rearing its ugly head for maybe the last time.
I would be shocked if Miguel Cabrera doesn't play next year when he's owed, $32 million, regardless how hurt he is. And it seems like the Tigers, and it would probably be right by the Tigers to, even if Miguel Cabrera's on the team, if he just for real doesn't play, if he's just like Udonis Haslem of the Detroit Tigers, and they're like, hey, we're going to give you this $32 million because of everything that you did for us, we don't very much look like we're going to be any good next year anyway. So paying Miguel Cabrera that money isn't really hurting anybody except Chris Ilitch, I guess. But I don't think any of us care about Chris Ilitch's wallet at this point. So it's sad, and Miguel Cabrera's going out like a lot of old players go out, baseball or not. You're going out injured, you're going out sad. You came in as a hot rod, right, as a motorcycle, and now you got a couple wheels missing, and you're limping to the finish line. In Miguel's case, literally limping with how bad his knee is, or how bad his knee is, reportedly. And, I get it. And, again, next year, Miguel was going this year for the 3,000th hit, last year for the 500th home run. He's been pretty bad for a couple years, but he at least got those career milestones. Unless he hits 75 home runs next year, he's not getting to 600. I don't even think he's at 525. That might have been a little bit generous, but he's not getting to 600. He's not getting to 3,500 hits or 4,000, just whatever the case is. So, it's kind of it, and it's sad because he's a guy who has given us great memories and deserves to get his number retired when it's all said and done. Won a couple MVPs here. Got to the World Series, unfortunately wasn't able to win it, but gave Tigers fans more memories than just about any other player that has ever put on the Old English D. So I salute Miguel Cabrera for all that he did. At one point in time, he was the best baseball player that we had going in Major League Baseball. Even she agrees. And he's not that anymore, but it is what it is. I'm sad to see him go, and I think they should give him that nice $32 million retirement package and send him on his way.
It is sad. It's really sad because this year's been bad overall in general. But Cabrera, at least in the first few months of the season, he was hitting over 300. He got that milestone with the doubles as well as the hits, and then. Since early July, he went from hitting 308, he's hitting 132. That's just bad. Really.
Yeah, was it the last 20 games and the first 71?
Yeah.
He was at 308.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just there's hitting the cliff, and then there's hitting the cliff, and he's really hit the cliff. And it doesn't help that the rest of the team hasn't been good this year either, even without his injuries withstanding. It's hard to get up, especially when you're that great of a player and who's been that great of a player for so long, to be mired in just bad baseball for so many years now, ever since the last World Series run, really, for the Tigers. It's just not been really good over the most part. But the memories that he has brought here to Detroit, the first Triple Crown in 45 years, back-to-back MVP seasons, the Silver Sluggers, everything, it was a blessing for us. I was so stoked when we got him all those years ago, and he helped turn around what the Tigers were and turn them into World Series contenders. We couldn't quite get all the way over the hump. Had great looks at it in 06 and 2012 and 2013 had we gotten past the Red Sox in the ALCS, but that just all fell apart. Never had a bullpen to back up all the hitting and the great starting pitching. And in the end, it's just a whole bunch of great memories without a ring to go with it. But he did everything we could have possibly asked him to do for us. In 20 seasons now, he's still got an over 300 average at 309. He has over 3,000 hits. He has over 500 home runs. Has over 600 doubles. And he's one of only 33 players in all of history of baseball to have reached 3,000 hits, and only one of 28 to have hit over 500 home runs. So he has definitely made his mark while he was here, and just in the game of baseball in general. Obviously started his career with the Florida Marlins, and he does actually have a ring with them in the 03 team, but not with us in Detroit, unfortunately. But to have a player of that caliber, and exactly like you said, we don't get many of them. We just don't. We've had them, maybe in hockey we've had them, but definitely not in football outside of Barry Sanders sharing it one year with Brett. Definitely not in basketball. We've never had that guy get over the hump, whether it was Isaiah Thomas or anyone else. It's just, we're just not there with that. And
Bob Lanier, Dave Bing, nobody.
Just
Cade in the future, though.
No. So to have, he is Cade in the future. I like that. But he is one of the few that we could say it was an MVP while playing in Detroit. So he's on a very short list on that one alone to go along with all of his baseball short lists.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that we got all these years to watch Miguel Cabrera. I agree with you. They're going to have to figure something out, because that $30+ million price tag, I mean, that's a big one to just eat and say, be a Udonis Haslem, just show up and talk to the players. I mean, look, it's a great,
doing nothing next year.
Great, like Udonis Haslem, he's a great teammate. He's a great clubhouse guy, and I've never heard a bad thing said about him from another teammate. So he would be loved and adored, just to be there in the clubhouse with the guys, helping any way he can. Maybe it's not really a coach, but a coach kind of thing, where he can help the younger players kind of adjust more and get, better at the game of baseball. But, who knows? Maybe we get lucky and they drain the knees and he can give us half a season next year as well on his way out. But it's going to be sad when Miguel hangs it up for good, whether that's the end of this year or the end of next year. It's definitely, but, I'm not wearing one right now, but I tip my cap to him for what he gave us here in Detroit and what his career has been.
Yeah, he's going to have his name on that brick wall out in Comerica Park. Him and, and Verlander from the same era. And hopefully the Tigers are better when they're honoring those guys than they are when they're honoring the Whitaker.
Here's hoping.
Hey, Ryan Griffin here. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Griffin and Bass. Be sure to give us your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to click the bell to receive the latest notifications from DSN, and subscribe for breaking news, community blogs, polls, contests, and other content.